You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
New at 10, a helicopter flying over the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas crashed Friday, killing 2 National Guard soldiers and a Border Patrol agent. Another soldier on board was injured. Officials said the helicopter was assigned to the federal government's border security mission when it went down near Rio Grande City. The cause was under investigation. The crash happened mid-afternoon while the helicopter was conducting aviation operations. Lisbeth Medina's mother, Jacqueline, says she wants the world to know Lisbeth's story and that she is going to fight.
Rafael Romero, the accused murderer of 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina, has a court date set for April 4th in Jackson County. Romero did not officially enter a plea Thursday. As of right now, his trial is set for October. Romero stands accused of intentionally causing the death of Medina while in the course of committing or attempting to commit burglary, robbery, or aggravated sexual assault. Jacqueline Medina told KPRC she knows her daughter is still with her as she fights to defend her legacy. A federal judge in Victoria upheld the use of the immigration program that allows up to 30,000 migrants from 4 countries into the U.S. per month. The ruling Friday came in response to a lawsuit from Texas and 20 other states that argue this humanitarian parole program created a shadow immigration system. But advocates for the federal government countered that migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela who are admitted through this policy help the U.S. farm labor shortage and reduce the number of people migrating illegally.
The Port of Bay City chairman was critically injured while his wife and another driver were killed in a deadly crash early Friday morning. The Bay City Tribune reports the 2-vehicle wreck happened when a 2010 Toyota Tundra collided with a 2023 GMC Yukon on State Highway 60. DPS says the driver of the Tundra, 29-year-old Oscar Avilenda III of Katy, and the passenger in the Yukon, 71-year-old Donna Harrison of Bay City, were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the Yukon, 63-year-old George Harrison of Bay City, was critically injured and transported to the hospital. Bay City police want information on this man. 22-year-old Joel Lopez of Bay City is wanted for his reported involvement in a recent shooting in Bay City. When arrested, Lopez faces a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Authorities say this suspect should be considered armed and dangerous. Contact local law enforcement if you know the whereabouts of Lopez.
1 month ago, Wharton police arrested Waynard Austin on 7 felony warrants. Shortly after, Austin escaped from custody in handcuffs. Austin remains at large, last seen wearing a black hoodie, blue jeans, and white shoes. If you see him, contact 911. Wharton police say Austin is not a threat to public safety.
A suspect from North Carolina was arrested in Wharton County Friday. 37-year-old Angelica Ramos from Durham, North Carolina, faces 5 charges, including engaging in organized criminal activity and abandoning or endangering a child. She is in the Wharton County Jail in lieu of $65,000 bond. Let's take a first look at your forecast. In for First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis, here is meteorologist Scott Pitney. I have a feeling Scott's going to tell us we've got a change in the weather coming real soon.
Yeah, Don, you asked me earlier if you're going to break a sweat doing the grass tomorrow. The answer is I don't think you will. It's going to be pretty cold. You can see this colder air. Amarillo right now, 30 degrees, 40s in Dallas. 50s a little bit further south, but we're still in the 70s. We're going to be cooling down pretty quick tonight, and then we are expecting breezy conditions as well for the weekend. Well, for Saturday, it's going to die down a little bit by Sunday, but then also remember to spring forward with the clocks on Sunday morning. I'll have the rest of your weekend forecast coming up in weather.
Scott, thank you. An independent investigation to the police response to the mass shooting in Uvalde almost 2 years ago drew rage from many in that community.
Former Mayor Don McLaughlin singled out the actions of Mariano Pragas, Uvalde's acting police chief at the time, who now serves as a Uvalde County Commissioner. Parents of children killed in that shooting cried and yelled after Jesse Prado delivered his independent report at a city council meeting Thursday. Prado cited some general response deficiencies, but exonerated all officers involved. Many in the community want disciplinary action against the police officers who took 77 minutes to stop an active shooter.
And even after your report, everybody knows the truth. Everyone knows the truth and the failures, and lives would have been saved. We would still have people today. We would have teachers and children here today, no matter what your report came back, if these officers would have done their job and their duty.
One of the details revealed in the report involves a locked door that a commander decided could not be unlocked in time with the tools officers had. Instead, they requested a key. Investigators previously determined doors in the school were not even locked. Investigator Prado did indicate the district attorney's office prevented him from obtaining much of the evidence he wanted. Uvalde's former mayor McLaughlin believes the DA is trying to cover up what happened. 4 people are dead after firefighters battled a massive house fire this morning in San Antonio. The fire department says the blaze initially started and spread to a home on the south side of the city around 10:30 a.m. When they arrived, they found the home completely engulfed. Investigators believe it may have been from a car fire in the garage.
New tonight, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton got a preliminary injunction against the Biden administration's attempt to redirect funds away from the construction of a border wall. Congress dedicated roughly $1.4 billion to the construction of walls and barriers along the southern border. President Biden issued an executive order demanding border wall construction stop. Texas sued the Biden administration. A federal district judge today agreed with Texas. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel stepped down from her role. Her decision comes after more than a year of rising tensions between former President Donald Trump and the RNC. She won re-election to a 4th term in January. At the RNC's meeting today in Houston, North Carolina GOP Chairman Michael Whatley and the former president's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, took over, and they will serve as the organization's new chair and co-chair.
I know how important this role is, and it is truly an honor to be here to work alongside all of you over the next 241 days. That's right, we're keeping track, because we know what the goal is at the end. We have one goal. The goal on November 5th is to win, and as my father-in-law says, big league. We're going to win on November 5th.
This year's Republican National Convention will be held in Milwaukee starting July 15th.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the economy added 275,000 jobs last month.
Here's what this means for the U.S. economy.
Despite high interest rates, new numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics show the U.S. gaining 275,000 jobs, exceeding expectations last month. President Biden touting the growth in a statement today, saying the great American comeback continues, echoing remarks during last night's State of the Union.
15 million new jobs in just 3 years, a record, a record. Unemployment at 50-year lows. Wages keep going up. Inflation keeps coming down.
He knows that he has a dismal approval rating when it comes to how he's handling the economy, and he tried to make the case for his economic policies last night, pointing to things like the lowest unemployment in half a century, the fact that the economy is growing, the fact that wages are moving higher and finally outpacing inflation.
While the U.S. added jobs, the unemployment rate inched up by 0.2 of a point last month to 3.9%. In Pennsylvania, applicants flocking to this job fair.
I need a job. I was working a seasonal job, but the season ended and then school started.
Though the job market remains strong, its easing temperature could allow the Federal Reserve to move forward with interest rate cuts expected in the coming months. Inflation has fallen significantly from 9.1%, but still hovering around a percentage point higher than the Fed's 2% target rate.
And all eyes now on the inflation report due next week on March 12th. With the job market maintaining strength, the big concern now is whether inflation will continue to trend lower. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. The state trial for 4 former Memphis police officers charged in the beating death of Tyree Nichols will take place after their federal trial. That's coming up on 25 News now at 10.
Also ahead, a nail salon in Lubbock helps a woman battling cancer. Here's a look at Community Crossroads this weekend. We revisit Safe Streets, Safe Pets, a 25 News Now extra. We also sit down with Adopt a Pet of Victoria, Pet Adoptions of Cuero, and give you guys a sneak peek of the St. Joseph Theater performance of Mean Girls.
I can be who I wanna be and sexy. I can be who I wanna be and hot. Be somebody new.
The OnlyFans model accused of murdering her boyfriend at their Miami high-rise was scheduled to appear in court this morning for a motion hearing. However, her attorney only appeared. Her parents, who are facing computer-related charges in connection with the case, appeared on the Zoom hearing. Police say the model confessed to fatally stabbing her boyfriend on April 3rd in the Edgewater neighborhood. Her attorneys claim she acted in self-defense. She remains in jail on a second-degree murder charge.
In Memphis today, a judge ruled that the state trial of 4 former Memphis police officers charged with second-degree murder in the death of Tyree Nichols can take place after the officers' federal trial. Attorneys for the defendants filed a motion asking that the state trial be postponed until after the federal trial. The federal trial is scheduled to begin in September. One deputy district attorney said the DA's office agreed with the motion.
This court is ready to try the case. We're ready to try this case. We acknowledge, though, that there's good legal reasons for the federal trial to go first. The family knows those reasons, understands those reasons, and is on board with us.
Spearman said if the federal trial does not start in September, the DA's office will seek to go ahead with the state trial first.
Former U.S. Representative George Santos, who was expelled from Congress in December and faces federal charges of defrauding donors to his 2022 campaign, announced he is running for the House again. Santos posted Thursday night on X that he will challenge Republican Representative Nick LaToya, who represents a different district on New York's Long Island. In his post, he says that he decided to challenge LaToya in New York's 1st Congressional District after prayer and conversation with friends and family. Sometimes it's these simple things that give us joy in times of trouble.
Absolutely. And a Lubbock woman says she has more confidence in her battle with cancer thanks to the kindness of a stranger. The stranger is a man who owns a nail salon.
That is so pretty. Thank you so much.
John Dawkins thought it was just another day at work at his salon, Absolute Nails.
How's your pedicure?
Good. But in the middle of the manis and petties, he got a phone call.
See, there's all these.
A woman named Debbie called about her close friend, Norma Hernandez. She said Norma was in the hospital battling cancer. Not knowing how long she has to fight, Norma wanted to get her nails done.
It's just really sad that my friend wanted to get her nail done before she go home to see Jesus, but then she can't get her nail done with nobody's. Her own salon turned her down, and a number of other salons in town turned her down. When Debbie explained that to me, my heart just sank.
That night, he and his wife Tammy went to the hospital to make Norma's wish come true. She greeted them with a big smile. While fighting her own battle, John says Norma was only concerned with how everyone else was doing.
I said, oh my God, this woman here laying bad, knowing that her life is have only a number of days, and start worrying about everybody else. So she stole our heart badly.
They also prayed with Norma and her family. John understands what they're going through. He lost his mom to liver cancer when he was only 20 years old. He spent her final weeks caring for her in hospice.
I'm going to be very emptiness and hollow. My heart going to be sad that you're gone. She's stumbling and pulled myself down. Said, son, you won't be. You won't be.
His mother told John his compassion and kindness would lead to many blessings.
So therefore, I take that very seriously and gave it when I got a chance.
He's encouraging other salons to show the same kindness when they can.
It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all. Very small act would make the world different.
Norma's family says they're thankful for the time John and his wife took to make Norma's evening special. She's still fighting at a Lubbock hospital. Her family hopes Norma's joy and John's kindness can inspire others.
Few areas around the crossroads did get some rain today. We'll talk about our next rain chances and the weekend forecast, all coming up next. Yeah, welcome back. It felt more like summer than spring, I bet, for some of you. That's because our high temperature was 86 today. It's supposed to be around 73, but we are trending back toward that number very quickly as that cold air starts to move in. Right now, feels like temperature is 70 degrees. That wind picking up out of the north now at 17. At 6 o'clock, it was about 5 miles per hour or less. So we're starting to get that north wind, and as that north wind comes in, along with it, the cold air. Dew point at 52, humidity at 53%. As I said, the crossroads did get some rain today. This lighter green shaded area, about 1/10 of an inch. Did get some heavier rain up here around Gonzales and Hallettsville. A little more than 1/10 of an inch, about 1/4 of an inch for them. Temperatures for tomorrow, 53 for Amarillo, mid-60s for most of the middle of the state, 65 for us, and then 70s in the south part of Texas. Very comfortable temperatures for everybody, more spring-like as well. Here's that north wind bringing in that cold air, and even though we're going to be mostly cloud-free for the weekend, there are going to be some clouds around, so that's why I wanted to show this future track to show that there are some clouds, but no precipitation. And notice how that wind starts to shift around back from the east and then southeast by Monday, and as that happens, we'll start to feel that moisture come back into the air, as well as those temperatures start to go up. That dry line moved through, and then the front behind it, and then the cold air coming in behind it with the high pressure building in. That high pressure moving off to the east. You see the wind coming around with that clockwise flow shifting back from the southeast. And there's our next rainmaker, that front up there around the northwest part of the United States moving down. This is 6 p.m. Thursday. We're going to see our rain chances, slight rain chance going up around Wednesday at 20%, but then increasing to 50% by Thursday, and then sticking around. This is Friday. That front not really in a hurry to get through. So we're going to see rain chances sticking around through Friday, maybe even as late as Saturday. If you are headed down to Port Lavaca, everything looks good except for maybe the wind. Those winds very brisk out of the north at 20 to 25. Your high tide 3:51 in Port Lavaca, low tide at 8:02 a.m. Those seas choppy at 2 to 5 feet, and your bay water temperature at 68 degrees. Your wake up temp in Port Lavaca 56 under mostly cloudy skies. Notice those clear out to partly cloudy by the afternoon. 63 by noon, 68 3 p.m. Sunset temperature 65 degrees. 53 your wake up temperature in Cuero. Partly cloudy skies, 61 by noon, 65 by 3, 63 by the evening. And for the rest of us in Victoria, mostly sunny skies. Average temperature, high temperature tomorrow 65, low temperature 47. Notice those winds 21 on Saturday, but then calming down quite a bit on Sunday. Skies clearing a little bit more, temperatures warming up slightly. Then when we get to Monday, 73 degrees. 55 for your low on Monday. Tuesday starting to get up there at 78, but still quite comfortable. Those low temperatures climbing up too. The humidity coming back into the air as well. Wednesday we have that 20% chance of rain, mainly toward the evening. Skies getting a little bit cloudier, mostly sunny. Now we're into the 80s, 82, 68 for your low. 50% for Thursday, high of 80, and then 30% chance of rain with a high of 75 on Friday. Of course, you can download the Crossroads Today app by clicking on the QR code. Get the latest in news, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Here's Zach Brown with sports.
Thank you, Scott. We had a great game between Victoria East and Cuero, and we got a district champion in soccer. Stick around for that in sports. We had some soccer here in Victoria. The West girls taking on King in a zone crossover game. The West ladies, they get the 4-0 win. Abby Adcock with a hat trick, scoring 3 of the Warriors' goals. The other one off the foot of Ava Gonzalez. The assist came from Kennedy Blow and Sienna sitting down Rodriguez. Mia Fonseca, 2 saves on the evening. The girls do finish 3rd in the district. Playoff details to be determined. We're actually going to have another game here in Victoria tomorrow. That game is going to be over at Memorial Stadium. The East boys, since they handled business on Tuesday, they have earned the opportunity for a playoff bid tomorrow afternoon. They play the winner between Moody and Carroll. If they win, they are in the postseason. We do, however, have a district champion, that being the Calhoun Sand Crabs, who have won that district for the 2nd straight year. They defeat the Hallettsville Brahmas 12-1. This just a small step towards their ultimate goal of chasing a state title. They fell just a few wins shy last year. Postseason right around the corner. Over at the Youth Sports Complex, the Cuero Lady Gobblers and East Titans going at it. They were tied at 1 apiece in the 4th inning, but the Gobblers erupt for 3 runs in the 4th inning to take a 4-1 lead. Now on to the 5th. Some defensive miscues have the bases loaded for East, still trailing 4-1 with 2 outs and a lazy pop-up on the infield. Looks like Cuero's going to get out of the inning, but it falls fair. 2 runs come across the score. It's 4-3 Cuero. Maybe the Titans have some life. Next inning, Cuero threatening, hot shot to 3rd. What a snag, nearly turned a double play. That's why they call that the hot corner, maybe even saved a run. And the next batter, great pitch, struck out looking. But despite the great defense Victoria East played near the end of this game, so too did Cuero, as Carly Pullen follows up her perfect game with a pretty good outing tonight as well. The Lady Gobblers just do hang on to beat Victoria East 4-3, but we got to hand it to the Titans. Cuero has been dominant all season long. The St. Joseph girls, just another day, another win. This ball off the bat of the St. Mary's commit Sophia Rodriguez, one of 2 home runs on the day, part of the Lady Flyers' 10-0 win over TMI Episcopal. Meismer pitched a complete game shutout, allowing just 3 hits on the evening. Sophia Rodriguez had 4 RBIs on the night. Maddie Rodriguez had 3. And earlier we were talking about the Calhoun Sand Crabs trying to go to state. Well, speaking of state, Victoria East sending 12 girls to state in powerlifting. The boys, they'll find out either later tonight or this weekend. And the coach of these guys, of course, Marcus Hernandez, he's been a very busy man, to say the least. The girls trying to go back-to-back, and the boys just taking small steps towards reaching the highest level.
I think the girls, with as many as we have returning from last year, the experience is there. Last year we dealt with a lot of nerves, a lot of first-time people there, but I think we have a lot more experience. We have a lot more confidence going into state, and being on them every week. Hey, this is where we're at, trying to set that pace and try to set that tone. We're expecting to go back-to-back, so we do what we need to do. Hopefully everything works out in our favor.
And for some more Victoria East news, the boys baseball team just got another win. Final score 10-2 over at Riverside. That's it for your sports. Donna Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we're going to take a last look at your weather. Plus, be a Barbie girl or boy tomorrow, because it's going to be National Barbie Day.
Predict the awards for the Oscars today. To vote, come to crossroadstoday.com/predict to enter the giveaway. The top 3 winners will receive a $50 gift card from our friends at Dick's Food Store. All right, for Best Leading Actress on International Women's Day, you can vote for Annette Bening in Naiad, Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller in Anatomy of a Fall, Casey Mulligan in Maestro, or Emma Stone in Poor Things. Let's look at the numbers here.
Okay,
Let's
here
see.
we go. All right.
Emma has 43%.
Yeah.
Lily has 36%. Annette Bening, former Oscar winner, 14%. Carrie Mulligan, 7%.
I can see that one.
And 0 for Sandra Huller. Sorry, Sandra. Hope things are better in Germany for her because she's from there. And thank you very much for voting.
Yeah, and don't forget the Oscars pre-show is right here on KVU TV Sunday at 5:30, and the Oscars start at 6 p.m.
Speaking of people who sold a lot of tickets at movies last year, the music investing startup JKBX is offering people a chance to purchase securities linked to a musical performer's streaming royalties. On their website, it says every time a song is played on the radio, the grocery store, or anywhere, royalties are handed out. This service allows the general public to get in on the deal. However, analysts warn most investors are not going to get a whole lot from this arrangement, even though they probably play a lot of Tay-Tay or B in there. These returns will likely be lower than a typical high-yield savings account. 10,000 steps in a day might be good enough for the average person, but not for one Australian woman. She just finished 871 miles in 28 days in a bitter, cold climate. She's an ultra-marathon runner and a self-described pain scientist. Yeah, who just set the new Guinness World Record for the longest polar ultra-marathon, pending ratification. She ran 30 miles per day in below zero temperatures and gusty winds during her quest, which she calls Run Antarctica. Urquhart says the goal of Run Antarctica is to help embolden females to get into sports, and also for athletes to get into sports and maybe freeze.
Did she win? Did she win the race?
I think she won the race. And now you were telling me the other day about all those Kansas City Chiefs fans who got into sub-zero temperatures, and now they're having what they're having the problems
so
with what?
Some of them were like frostbitten, and some of them might have to get some amputations. Actually, the one who's responsible for these camera shots, Escobar, he actually showed me the story right before I went on for the sports block. So they went out there. A lot of those guys went shirtless, you know, trying to show how brave they were. Now they're suffering the consequences.
That's why I'm a Texan fan. We have a dome stadium.
We can shut the roof when needed.
And the weather's better, too.
And the weather's better. In fact, it's going to feel like you're inside of a dome some of the time this week because we're getting our temperatures back down to almost room temperature. Look at Monday, 73. That's kind of what I had, you know, my thermostat said it. Anyway, we're going with mostly sunny skies, mostly sunny, a few high clouds through the weekend, and then warming up starting midweek, and then rain chances return on Thursday.
Alrighty, thank you, Scott. Tomorrow is National Barbie Day. On March 9th in 1959, the iconic doll debuted in the American International Toy Fair in New York, created by Ruth Handler and named after her daughter Barbara. Barbie was the first doll with adult features, and over the years, Barbie has had hundreds of careers, including astronaut, surgeon, pilot, nurse, reporter, and even presidential candidate. Go Barbie.
She probably had more fun as a reporter.
And maybe Sunday night, Oscar winner. You never know.
And maybe Sunday night, she could be an Oscar winner. What a list. What a woman, that Barbie.
Oh, yeah. She's something else.
Yeah, she is.
Well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join Adam Seidler and meteorologist Trey Meinig and maybe this guy on Sunday. Maybe for 25 News Now weekend. Good night and have a great weekend, everybody.